Shout out to Josiah for that.
Listen, why? Literally, I promise you, when I saw the whole neon, okay,
Yeah.
101, I said Josiah. Like I don't know what Josiah ran all over it. That's the and I was gonna ask you, and I said, okay, I'm gonna save it for afterwards. I don't want to ask him right now, but I'm glad you said it because he's the first person that came. I said, I know Josiah did this right here now.
You already know Josiah. I told you with anything with production and stuff, Josiah does all that for me. Like I tell him what I want, and then I say, "This is what I want to do." I give him an idea, then I throw it at him, and then he'll be like, "Okay, I got it." Then he'll send it to me. I'm like, "Yes, that's exactly what I wanted." That's exactly what I
I'm proud
wanted.
of Josiah. I've been seeing him being pretty consistent. I'm glad to see it. So shout out to Josiah.
Yes, honey.
Shout out to you.
And y'all, we sorry. We was back there talking.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm usually on time.
Yes.
Okay. However, little man was just, he was just giving me a little run. Just a little bit. Okay. Just a little run. I was trying to get in here, get set up and stuff, but he likes to come in here and try and mess with my computers and lights and all. He's like, boy, scoot back. Okay. Scoot back just a little
Okay.
bit.
Listen. But yeah, y'all, we was back there talking. I already knew
Mhm.
that we was gonna be late because that's just what we do.
Yeah, it's a piece.
But so this is another episode of One on One, and of course I had to have my girl Jamie on here. And
Yes.
normally when I do one on ones, they're supposed to be like quote unquote interviews, like letting the audience get to know you a little bit better or something like that.
Yep.
But when it's
Mhm.
somebody that I know personally, like for instance, you or Aaron or Mims, it turns into
Yeah.
a conversation more than an interview. Like, and we just kind of talk about different things that we have went through ourselves and stuff like that. So that's pretty
For
much what
sure.
it's gonna be. So first things first, Jamie, for people who may
Yes.
not know, um, you were born in Montgomery, right?
Mm-mm.
You wasn't, are you from? Because I thought you were born in Montgomery. I'm
No,
not.
I was born in Pontiac, Michigan.
Oh, you're from, oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
See,
Yep. A lot of people don't.
I always thought you were from Montgomery. Well, you
I'm
are
from
born.
Montgomery. I'm from
Yeah.
Montgomery. I have family in Michigan, Ohio, all of that. But I don't even remember it, to be honest, because I wasn't there long. I think I was there for like my toddler years, like
Mhm.
2, 3 or so, and then we came back down to Montgomery, and that's where I grew up from that point.
Okay, so your family is from the Midwest, or
No,
y'all?
my family's actually they're
Yeah,
from
they from
Montgomery.
down south. Okay.
They're from the South, but then I had a lot of aunts, relatives, cousins, like not just like my mom's siblings, but like my grandparents' siblings, like all of them just like migrated up north and
Mhm.
they just stayed in the South. And then my mom went up there for a little bit, lived up there for some time with them, and then she came back down. Mhm.
That's normally how it goes, though. I think most people that are from the South, they have family members that migrate. Because just like in Mississippi, like most people be like, "Oh, well, when you from Mississippi, of course you got family members in Chicago." Like 9 times out of
Oh,
10, if you in Chicago, you got family in Mississippi.
I'm glad you said that. And I learned this from watching Judge Mathis's show, and I didn't know this. So he mentioned that there was like a train or something from like, I guess, Alabama somewhere, like bottom Alabama, and I don't know about Mississippi, but he mentioned that they traveled a certain line. Where the train will take you up north. So a lot of times he did mention that people that are from Michigan, Ohio, some of those people are related to folks down in Alabama because the train would take them up so high. Child, I about got family up there in Canada. Okay. Matter of fact, can y'all free me, bitch, up out of here?
Okay,
Call me somebody
girl.
that may have sent their information to what is it, 22 and Me, or what is it, 2 and Me? That company that then got hacked, that DNA company. See if you
Yeah.
related and help me come to Canada.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I think we all need to leave. Just get the fuck on. Didn't
Do you
Rosie
hear
O'Donnell leave already?
me? Come get me.
I'm telling you.
But yeah.
Okay, so so you're from, well, you were born in Michigan, you grew up in Alabama.
Yeah.
I know you went to college and got your college degree. Where did you go to college at?
I went to Alabama State University.
Alabama State. Okay. And
Mhm.
we know you a Delta.
Yes.
I like my cousin Tierra, she's a Delta too. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Shout out to Tierra.
So by you going to college in Alabama, you growing up in Alabama, what made you make the move to Atlanta?
So, what made me make the move was more so me wanting to get into acting. And I knew I couldn't really do it in Montgomery.
Mhm.
And I was trying to decide on should I come to Atlanta or go to LA.
Mhm.
And I just remember laying in my bed and I prayed to God, like, what should I do? And I feel like I got the message once, like a few minutes after that. I think it was all within an hour. My mom called me and she was like, "Hey, if you ever want to move to Atlanta, I'll come with you." And mind you, I'm a single mom at that time. So my son was, I think he could have been like 5 or something like that at the time. I can't remember.
Mhm.
And so I was like, "Oh wow." So for me, that was like the sign that okay, I'm supposed to go to Atlanta. And yeah, I came to Atlanta, did some acting and stuff like that, but also being a mom, and my mom did not come with me, so it was really lonely. I don't know if you're gonna ask those questions or not, but it was just like me and my son.
Mhm.
And when you're a single mom, you gotta take care of your kids, so you don't have the flexibility as much to uh do these acting gigs. You got to get like a real job. Although I did have enough money stacked up to not have to work for a year and I was an assistant to my acting coach, you know, at some point, things change and you have to get a job and had to, do my first priority is being a mama to my child and providing for him because he didn't ask to be here. And that's what I kind of fell into. So
Okay.
acting kind of got like further and further away.
Okay. So you're from Alabama, I'm from Mississippi, and we both took a leap and moved to Atlanta. So would you say that your move to Atlanta was a little similar to mine or a little bit different? Because for me moving to Atlanta, I already kind of had a tribe. When you moved to Atlanta, did you have the same thing or you were just by yourself?
Yes and no. My One of my line sisters lived here, and my best friend at the time, she lived here as well. She moved right before I moved.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so but she didn't live near me. So she probably was like 30, 40 minutes away. My line sister was not far. She was like probably like 10 minutes away. She was like up the road.
Mhm.
However, she was a mom of her own and had a
Right.
husband and stuff. So I didn't want to like impede or do too much. So I feel like I kinda had a tribe, but not for real.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So when you decided to move to Atlanta, like were you afraid in a sense or were you nervous? Because I know that I remember when I first told you that I wanted to move to Atlanta. And of course, you were one of the people who was like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and move.
Mhm,
And you know how attached I am to my mother and my brother. So that was one of the main reasons why I was afraid to move. And of course, coming here so much, I was ready to go, but when the days came and the days got closer and closer, that's when the emotions kind of started. I cried more than I ever do because I don't cry, but I got
mm,
scared and shit. But everybody would tell me, well, if you're scared or if you're emotional about it, then that means that it's uncomfortable and that means that that's a decision you're supposed to make.
mhm.
So was that the same thing for you when you left?
Um, I feel like yes and no. I feel like it was uncomfortable because I feel like I kept delaying it. I could have been left and I didn't. I think I put it off for like a year or so.
Hmm.
But it actually worked out because I was able to like, save some money and stuff. Um, so I feel like I was more excited to get the hell out of Dodge because let me tell you, okay. So growing up, I grew up in Montgomery, Alabama. I went to multiple elementary schools, 2 junior high schools. Finally, had stayed at one high school, thank God. But then I also went to college in the same city. So for me, I did so much in that city. I am ready to fucking go. Okay, because I also had just got out of a long-term relationship, like 7 years. I also, had some friction with friends or whatever the case or associates, whatever that was. And yeah, I also being in an organization, and you would see when you be on the yard, right? A lot of people that graduated like 3, 4 years ago still out there. Yeah. just strolling and doing it. And I'm like, oh no, I don't, no, no, no. I don't want to be that person, Lord. I really don't. I mean, I did it for a little bit, but I'm like, this cannot be my life. I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. I don't want to be that person. People looking back like, oh, dang, they graduated 6, 7 years ago. Still, oh no. So I was kind of excited to leave a lot of stuff behind. You know,
Mhm.
it may have been bittersweet, but for me, I mean, Alabama is closer than Mississippi, so it is like a jump, hop, and skip. It's like a 2 hour or so drive for me. So it's like, "Psh, I'll see y'all." And also, I would go home every weekend.
Oh.
I would go back and forth every weekend. You know what I'm saying? Just it was a minute to get adjusted, but after a while, I was like, I ain't coming down there. I'm a 24 hours, okay, one night only. I'm from out of town. I do not let people know that I'm in town. You know, some people like to make the announcement. I'm not gonna. No, 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 no. The people I need to talk to will know. I'm sliding in and I'm sliding the hell out. My grandma be like, "You finna go?" Yes, yes. Get your butt out of here. I know, I know, I know, no, no. I know that. I know that. I know that. But I need to be on the road before 6, 5, preferably. I'm out. So I don't know. I just like to be home in my bed. Like, this was cute. I seen y'all. I love y'all, and I'm gone. But yeah, so I don't think it was that bad. I think it really set in when I was here by myself. You know what I'm saying? And just being here and having to look after my son and changing his life. You know what I'm saying? From his friends, taking him away from his friends and stuff. And now he's in this environment, a whole new world, So I mean, it had its moments, it's lows and stuff like that, but it was all good. It was good. I think Scotty don't froze, y'all. You do that to your people too, JB? I'm in and out. That's how I felt when I lived from Florida. The feeling never really goes away. You'll find a way to adjust. Yeah, you will. You will. You back?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what's the fuck going on. The
It's
string y'all
okay.
been fucking up all day. But do you be feeling like me now? Like,
Well,
well, like the 3 times I told you this backstage, I had been back home. I've been back home 3 times already since I left.
mm,
Soon as I hit Mississippi soil, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so ready to go back.
not really, because I know I'm not gonna be here long. Not really, because I know I'm giving you 24 hours. I mean, like 48 max, but I'm yeah, in and out,
Yes.
in and out.
Oh my God, I'd be so ready to go. Like as soon as I get there, I'd be ready to go. I'd be
You
like,
know what's interesting though, when you move away, and I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but I feel like you will. You just see your city so different. I know for me, and I be looking like, did it always look like this? Where the buildings are run down,
mm-hmm.
primarily, just things change. One side of town just ain't what it used to be. And I'm like, did this building always look like that? Was this like the, I'm always questioning that. But I definitely don't regret leaving because I feel like Montgomery has gotten crazy. Like
I agree.
it
I
has gotten
agree.
every day I'm on Facebook, somebody talking about somebody that got clapped. I'm like, oh my God.
I thought it was just me
It's
because
crazy.
listen, if I don't talk to nobody, I stay on my phone, I stay on Facebook. And when
Hmm.
I look on Facebook and I be seeing all this stuff that be going on, I be like, yeah, I ain't make no bad decision. Cause it was already, I'm gonna tell you just like this, it was already getting bad where I'm from right before I left. Like people would get shot at all the time. And then even my baby brother had called us one day. Me and my mother was out one day, and he had told me he had called and he was like, someone just got shot at right in front of the house.
Oh,
And I'm like, what? And listen, no, like on that side of town, that don't normally happen.
right.
So it was just like my
I would
brother
be
was like, somebody
spooked.
the dude was walking up the street and somebody was driving in the car. He just shot at the boy right in front of the street, like right in front of the house. And
What?
I was standing in the door when it happened. And I'm like, what?
What is going on?
And my mother was
It's
like,
changing.
you don't need to go walking nowhere. Cause she know I get up and I go walking around the neighborhood. She told me don't go walking. I ain't even go walking for a whole month when it was out there when it had happened. Like
Yeah.
it had gotten so bad. And even when I came back home for homecoming,
Mhm.
they already was apprehensive about doing it because of all the gun violence that was going on in my city. But then we winded up going. And someone got into a whole brawl at the homecoming, and we just decided, okay, look, I told my friends, say, y'all, we need to go because
Mm.
if they fighting already, it's gonna turn into something else. And
Yeah.
guess what? We left, and it turned into something else.
That's wild.
So
I'm
it,
glad they listened.
yeah, cause
It's out of control.
yeah, I was like, "No, I don't need to come back." Like it's like it's always something going on back home, and I don't miss it. Like I actually be getting me a chuckle and a cackle on Facebook because I say, "Lord, she still fighting over that damn bum ass nigga. Oh, she still fighting over
Child.
him too." You know, it be crazy. It be crazy. I ain't gonna sit up here. I be getting my life. This shit. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Okay, so you moved from Montgomery, you come to Atlanta. So
Mhm.
you came to Atlanta for acting and stuff like that. So as you come into Atlanta for acting, how did you get into YouTube?
I always wanted to like get into YouTube, but I feel like I was afraid to do it by myself. Like I used to watch a lot of y'all, Funky Dineva, you, Justin,
Mm-hmm.
Bondi, like back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And like me and my homegirls, like we had did well, it was like, I guess like Blog Talk Radio, like we did like a podcast type thing, when that was in back then. I guess
Oh
before
Lord, that's a
podcasts were really
long
like popular, like doing Blog
yeah.
Talk Radio. So we would do that and talk about different topics. But I feel like I teamed up and did it with them because I had that fear of like doing it by myself. So if something went wrong, I wouldn't have to be the only person having to take accountability. It would be like shared type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I just had that fear in me. And what I noticed too, as I'm speaking on that, a lot of times when I partner with people, it didn't always fully work out. And I think it could be because the passions just weren't the same
Mm-hmm.
or something. But anywho, over time, I um I just I already had a YouTube account and I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. F it. Because it was a situation where it's been on my mind for years, probably like 5 years at that point. I think like 2010. And then I always wanted to do it, never did it, self-conscious, you know what I'm saying? Going through my own stuff in my head or whatever. And then I think it was like 2015 when I first like dropped the video. I think it could have been on maybe Real Housewives. I don't remember. But it was a situation where I just got to get this out of me. I just
Mm-hmm.
gotta get it out my head and I just gotta do it. And I just did it. I just uploaded it. Like, okay, okay, it's out. It's out. I ain't really expect nobody to watch it. Then I said, you know what? That's wait a minute. That's good. That's a good thing. Nobody's watching it, so you got a lot of time to fuck up. Yeah. Okay, cool. Ain't nobody watching. You ain't gotta get this, because I would see other people's pages, see the comments like, oh, they getting dragged, oh, they harsh, whatever. I ain't have to worry about
Right.
that too much. So let me just put it out there, put it out there. Then I started getting a little piece of an audience. Like, oh, okay, 300 people. Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, they weren't as mean either. Not like now. I feel like the more subbies you get, the worse it gets.
It
It
does.
does not compare to the comments when you've had 5,000 subscribers, 2,000, 10, 15. No, it's worse. The higher you go, the worse it gets in my personal.
I
But
agree
yeah, I
with
just had
you.
to get it out of me, and I was like, let me just start, let me just do it. And I would hate watching some of the videos, and I would feel like, okay, they didn't mention this part, or you just have your own way of seeing things. And yeah, I just wanted to get my little 2 cents, give me a
That's
little piece
how
in
I
there.
was. That's how I was when I first started because I was a big ass. I don't want to say was because I still am,
Mm.
but I was like a big ass fan of the Scorpion show. I used to love them. I used to love them, and I used to love Sweet Addictions TV. I used to love
Oh,
watching them.
I remember. Okay,
I
yeah.
used to love them, and I'd be watching their videos, and I'm like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with
Right.
that. And then it was like, I don't, okay. And then I was already kind of doing videos on Facebook anyway. So it
Okay.
was like, my friend had told me, you need to go to YouTube. I said, hell no, so they could drag me? Hell no. Like I was like, I'm not going. But then after a while, I had flunked out of college and shit, Jamie. So I was just like, I ain't got shit else going on. I ain't got no job. I done flunked out of college. Let me
Mm,
find something to do. So I got on YouTube and I had started reviewing like Real Housewives of Atlanta season 3. So you know that was
mm.
a long time ago. Season 3, I think it was Basketball Wives season 2. What Chili Wants
Oh,
and
damn.
Brandy
I
and
forgot
Ray
about
J the
that one.
Family Business.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Them were some
embracing
stuff.
family values.
Oh, yes.
You know, that
Yes.
was a
Damn.
long time ago.
It was.
And I was so surprised that people was watching my shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I was like, God damn. And I actually, and I still love it now, but back then
Mhm.
it was great though, because it was like so many positive, so positive back then. But like you said, it's something about when you hit the 20K, that's when the bullshit comes. That's when the
Child.
bullshit comes.
And the
Like
people
you'll
get
get a
bolder
negative
and bolder.
like you'll get the negative comments here and there. You know what I mean? Because the
Mhm,
biggest thing about me was that people would talk about my damn teeth all the time.
mhm.
That'll be the thing that people would say about me. But other than that, it wouldn't be so bad until I started growing. So you're right about that thing. About it growing. But I remember the first video I saw of yours, it was a Basketball Wives LA video. And I want to say it was season 5, I believe. I'm like, who is this? And I was watching it, and I'm like, I like her. You know what I'm saying? And I think one day I was doing a video. I was thinking I was doing the videos in the bathroom then, and I think I shouted you out or something. And then you came in the comments. You was like, "That is so funny because I'm sitting here watching your video and you shout me out." Blah, blah, blah. And
I
I was
know. I'm just watching because I always watch I always watch their content,
right.
and I was just like, "What the hell? Me? How you found me?" I'm like, "Okay."
so that's how that came about. So I was like, oh, I like her videos, but then sometimes you will do them and then you'll step away for a while and then you'll come back. Now, I know why you would step away, but some people may not know. So why was you stepping off sometimes?
Being a mom,
Yeah.
working a corporate job that I would say is probably like 20 minutes from the crib, but then, having to drive into Atlanta, that
Ooh.
traffic, you just be wore out. You know what I'm saying? You get home,
Mm-hmm.
you got to see about your kid and stuff like that. Got to get a little piece of time for yourself. And then you also just have like low vibrational moments, which was something that I had, depressional moments, whatever like that. Like, it's working, it's doing good, but it's not doing good, because at some point, once you get past that phase of, okay, let me just put the content out. And when you see people are starting to watch and subscribe and stuff, okay, you want more. So you start to see the possibilities just a little bit. But then the job also getting in the way. So you can't fully do what you want with your channel to fully grow it because you're working
Right.
and stuff. So it was primarily, I would say it was primarily work, just not having the time. So I would be just exhausted. I would do it, go away, whatever, come back, But shout out to my man, because he definitely was on my head top in I think it was 2019. He was just like, man, you need to just you like right there. I think I was like at 946 subscribers. And it seemed
Mm-hmm.
like it was taking forever to get to 1,000. He was like, just stay focused, like just keep doing it. Like you already have like why would you just like not do it anymore? Like that's what you need to lean into. Like just do that. And the month that I started was like the month that I hit it.
See?
So I hit that 1,000, and I already had I think the viewership or something. So I think I ended up getting back monetized or whatever the case was. So yeah,
I
and
would
I've been
say
going ever
this.
since.
Yeah, I would say this. Like I think we was I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I think we was doing the whether you like it or not panel one of these weeks. I don't know if it was last week or this week, because we got two whether you like it or not panels now. We have one for Beverly Hills and one for Housewives of Atlanta. So I don't
Yeah,
know which one it was, but I mentioned you on there and I was saying if you want to take any type of tips from a person that grew and never stopped, you need to look at Jamie. That's what I was saying, because
yeah.
I admire the way that you have come to where you are. I was
Well,
gonna wait
thank
to
you.
the end to say that, but I just, I can't help myself. I
It's
had to
okay.
say it now. But because I remember when I first started watching you, and then I remember when I first started working with you and where you were, and I see where you are now. Like, girl, you almost 100K. Like, you finna get your damn plaque soon.
Surprise.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
and I'd be looking like, because me and you remember when me and you was at the Candy Cares thing, and I was telling
Yeah.
you how I wanted to pivot and do other things, and I had
Mhm.
saw that you had did this video called The Rise and Fall of City Girls. I'm like, I
Mhm.
want to do something. That's the type of videos I want to do. And you was
Yes.
like, just do it. That was just, you
Yeah,
was
I
like,
was like, "Just
just do
do it."
it. So I'm about to lean into that now. I'm slowly but surely leaning into
Yes.
that now. But
I
I
love
like
that.
I love the way that you have variety of things to discuss besides reality TV and gossip. Like, you have the court is messy, the this is messy, the whole other thing. And I'm like, that's the type of, because I know that everybody doesn't want to hear me talk about reality TV all the time. And
Mhm.
sometimes when I get into my tangents about music, people will be like, "You need to do some music content because you know too much about music." And I'm like, that's true. I need to." So
Yeah.
now I'm starting to do that now. I'm slowly but surely getting into it. But I had to go into that tangent real quick to let you know that I love the way you have grown. Like, and as
Thank
you can see
you.
in the comments, they do say I always speak highly of you all the time. I do.
Oh,
You
thank
know.
you. I know. Scotty, he tell me all the time. Every time we link, Scotty tell me. I know.
so so we're gonna get
Yeah.
from when I first saw you on YouTube to when I first started working with you.
Mhm.
So because that's gonna lead into the Ooh Ladies first discussion, because some people wanted to know how did it start.
Yeah, okay.
So the first time I worked with you, Jamar and I was doing the prelude, and I think it was you on there with us. I
Mhm.
think Josiah was on there with us, and I think it was Layla Lynn. Was she
So, I feel like it was 2 different ones.
there? Yeah, that's true. It was too.
It was me, you, and Jamar first, and then
Uh-huh.
the next one, I think you, Jamar, Josiah, Layla Lynn, Bondi, and I think it was one more person.
Yeah, I think all I can say is that it was the prelude. I don't remember which one it was,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
we had you on the prelude the first time.
Mhm.
And then everybody was talking about Candace and Monique and the fight and all that other stuff. And it was
Mm.
like this big ass split down the middle thing on YouTube.
Mhm.
And so you was team Candace. I wasn't really team nobody. T was team Monique. I think Bundy was team Monique and or something like that. So it was us. I think it started off with me, you, T, Bundy, and
Was it Niecy?
Nisi wasn't on the first one.
Or was it Sakina?
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, Josiah. That it was us
Okay.
five first. The very first one we did before I even gave it a name, it was just us five first. Because
Okay.
Hillary Pink was supposed to do it too, but she couldn't. So it was us five first. And then Nisi and Yah came along, and then of course down the line, Alex and Jay Lee did it, and then Sakina would pop in and out or whatever.
Mhm.
So it became the whether you like it or not panel. And back then, I didn't know much about no motherfucking panels. I just put something together, and then I just put these different people on a panel together, and then we were just talking about Potomac, and I didn't. It was just supposed to be a one-off. It wasn't supposed to be no. It wasn't supposed to be what it is
Mhm.
now. It was just supposed to be a one-off. But then everybody loved it, so we kept doing it. And then after a while, I was just saying to myself, okay, I'm doing this panel with all of them, but how are they supposed to get paid? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Because it was
mhm.
new. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So after a while, during that time, y'all wanted to talk about, I think it was probably Ready to Love, Married at First
Queen
Sight,
Sugar
Queen
yeah,
Sugar.
it was other time, yeah.
And I didn't watch none of that shit. So it was nothing I could add to that. So
Married at
y'all
First
had
Sight.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. So it was like, okay, so y'all started the Ooh Ladies first panel or whatnot. So
Yeah.
and people be getting it so confused. Can we talk about that too?
Yeah, we
People
can
get
talk
it
about it.
so fucking twisted when it comes to that because people be thinking, oh my God, they had a big falling out with Scotty and they went on to make their own panel.
No,
That is not what happened.
that is not what happened
That
at
is not what
all.
happened.
So this is what it was. When we did the panel, once we finished the weather or whether you like it or not, like the I guess you could say the season or whatever,
Mhm,
I think it was about to go into another set of housewives and you had asked us all like, yo, do y'all want to be a part of the next,
mhm,
season or the next one that we do? And we were talking about doing the other shows that we don't necessarily cover, but cover more things and not just talk about housewives, right?
mhm,
So I know for all of us, we was kind of like, ooh, damn, how we going like that's a lot to manage our stuff and then do all of these panels and stuff. So we was like, you know what, we just gonna do what we do over here. But it wasn't that, I mean, if it was like a feeling like, hey, if we were available, I mean, I know Scotty would have let us come and do the whether you like it or not panel, but that's pretty much what it was. It
right,
wasn't nothing like no falling out. We was all still good. And that's the downside of YouTube when you do have the viewers that create their own stories. And sometimes I get it because they're not filled in with the additional context of what's happening.
mhm.
But it can be like, okay, that's not it, y'all. We ain't
Because
fall out. Like,
right,
what the hell?
because after we started the, after y'all continued on with the Ooh Ladies First panel and we continued with the Whether You Like It or Not panel,
Mhm,
we brought in Really B and Sakina because I said I still feel like we need female voices. I don't
mhm.
want this to just be a male thing. So we brought them in, and even after that, we started hanging out after that because that's when I came to Atlanta that weekend,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Ramon did brunch for all of us, and that's when
Oh,
we
that
st-
was so
that's when
nice.
yes, that's when we met, and we started hanging out from that point on. So that's why I would always be so confused when people would think that it was like this big falling out and y'all went and
Yeah,
did y'all
nah.
own panel. But I'm like, but me and Jamie hang out though, like it's
Yeah, whenever he would come to Atlanta, he'll hit me up.
right. So it was weird.
So yeah.
So now, looking at the
Mhm.
Old Ladies First panel and
Yeah.
seeing how it has turned into, I'm telling you right now, I go to work like on the days, like most days I go to work at 5 a.m. So
Mhm.
when I have to be at work there early, because we are doing a chasing panel on Thursdays, because the chasing Dallas and chasing Atlanta shows, they come on Thursday night. So I don't get to see our panel sometimes on Thursday.
Yeah.
So Friday morning, I go to work and I have my AirPods in and I listen to y'all the whole show on a Friday
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So how do you feel about it now? Because y'all started off at a certain place and now y'all in a different place now. Like y'all have interviewed different reality stars like Candy, Melody, Cherie, Dr. Heavenly, Stormy, Destiny, I think I said Dr. Heavenly already. Anila, I think y'all interviewed her. I think y'all
Yeah, we
did.
did. Yeah, we've interviewed quite a few people. It's been really good. I don't know what I was expecting, but a lot of what we've done has been great. I mean for me, like I do enjoy it. I enjoy, talking with my girls, Bondi and Nisi. And it's really dope to know that well, I think it was Bondi that really came to us with it and like came up with like the name and stuff. So
Mhm,
to just have that idea and see it like really be something is dope. Like we probably could be like a little bigger than what we is than just on YouTube. But I love to see that you have over 20,000 people that come back consistently to want to hear what you have to say and enjoy your content. And for it to be going on this long, I really love it because I feel like a lot of times sometimes when you have like when I think about the just hilarious situation, sometimes it
mhm,
be it be drama, with groups or whatever. It don't have to be. But I like the fact that at times when people may have tried to put me and Bondi against each other, like with what happened over like on whether you like it or not panel, like
mhm.
it don't make no sense. And we're still out here thriving and doing a great job and supporting each other and still also doing this panel that everybody like really enjoys. So I like it. I'm proud of us.
Yeah, I feel like I've always said that y'all could have been on Fox Soul or something like that. I've always said
Yeah,
that.
they won't go. Well, it
But
would be
they
nice.
I've always said that though. Like I've always said that. So, it's and then the way y'all set up is professional. Y'all have
Yeah.
everything down pat. And as a person that do panels all the time, it's like when I watch other people's panels and I be like, oh my God, I need for them to do this. I need for them to do that. Like, I don't like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because when you do panels on your own and you see how you put it together and you see other people,
Yeah, I
you
understand
know,
that.
you know. Um, however,
But at least y'all doing it at the end of the day,
yes,
and when the right person comes along and would want to invest or whatever, like, they will make it bigger, than what it is. You just gotta do your thing.
that's what I say too. But y'all are really doing a good job and it's still
Thank you.
going. I think y'all been going for like four, 4 or 5 years.
Think so.
Yeah, I think y'all started in
Mm,
2021 because whether you like it or
mm.
not, started late
Oh, I think it
2020.
was 21.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. I guess it was. It's
Oh,
been
yeah,
4
I think
years,
we are going into 4 years. We about didn't hit it.
probably so. Because I know y'all did this. Y'all actually, y'all have. I think it happened in February of 2021. I think
I
it was
think, or March, one of the 2. I
one
think
of
I
them.
think we may have hit it. I think it's been 4 years. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: so for your fifth anniversary, would y'all want to do something special for that? I think y'all should.
I think that would be so nice. We've talked about it. We just gotta, make it happen. But
And
I
I
think
know.
that would be so nice, so
And
dope.
and I think y'all should do a live show too,
Yeah,
because I know that's what Josiah wants us to do for the whether you like it or not panel. Like we've been
yeah,
talking about doing something like find some venue here in Atlanta, something small that doesn't really require a lot of people, and do something together. As you know, I think y'all should do that. Y'all should have been did it honestly.
mm.
That's what I think
I
though.
mean,
But
we definitely should have.
yeah.
We were working on it. I don't know what oh, I think I coulda got pregnant. I think that was when I ended up
Oh yeah.
getting pregnant, and yeah, that changed things. Cause I wanted to go to BravoCon, couldn't do that. We're gonna sit it
Mills was
down.
trying to get me to go to BravoCon, but I was like,
You're not going? I
I
wouldn't
at the
mind going one of these years, but
Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, but then again, I was like, maybe so, because you never know who you may run into, and these people really do be watching. Like we think
yeah.
they don't, but they do.
They definitely do. When I saw Quad over there on Married to Medicine telling T that you hopped in his DM saying you could give him a baby and you still haven't made good on that promise, I said she ain't watching nobody but Bondi.
That's
Because
it.
for me, that's the first person I heard. So when Simone says that she be in tune with what the fans and stuff be saying, she ain't lying.
She
But all
ain't.
y'all do. All y'all be in tune with
They sometimes they'll watch and don't say shit, but then there are some that'll slide into your DMs and tell you that they watch it. Because I never forget it. I never forget it. This was Love and Hip Hop Miami
Mhm.
right before the pandemic started. So this was season 3. And I was in the closet doing videos then, because that's when we moved into our new house. That's when I was doing videos in the closet. This was before any panels I ever did even started. I was going in on Prima Donna. I was dragging
Mm.
Prima Donna every week. And one day, Amada La Negra came into my DMs and she said, I can't help but to love you.
Oh.
I was so tickled. I said, because she watching me drag the shit out of Prima Donna. That's what that
Mm.
is. She
Mm.
dragging,
Mm.
she
Mm.
watching me
Mm.
doing that. That's what that is.
Mm. That
Um,
that's interesting. You just never know who watching you, right?
you never know.
It could be 100 people watching, but the very one person you're talking about could be a part of that 100 people. Like, you just never know.
But one
It's
thing that I do like is that there's some people that we talk about on these shows and they know that we probably didn't say something negative about them and they do not care. Because I remember Candy's first time seeing me. Because Don Juan already knew who I was because he watched my videos back when I was doing them in the bathroom. So he already knew who
Mhm.
I was. But Candy had first said something to me when I was reviewing Candy in the Gang. I think I was going in on her ass because she ain't had no generator.
No.
And, and then she had tweeted me. She was like, you went in on my ass about that generator, but I love this video." I was like,
Oh,
I can appreciate that though, because
yeah.
you
And
know
I can't see Candy a good sport because
she
when we
is.
got ready to leave the Candy Care, she was like, "Y'all ain't gonna be talking about me this season." I'm
Yeah,
like, "You
yeah, she
right, we
sure did
not.
say that.
You
She said, "Y'all
right.
not gonna be going in on my ass."
Damn, we gonna find something to talk about though." But
Right?
yeah,
Okay.
Candy cool.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like even with Miss Wanda, like I was tickled when she was saying she'll watch my videos because I was going in on Miss Wanda
I
all
know
the
I
time.
will. I know I will. I know some people can't stand me, honey, but it's just entertainment. It's just
And
all
I'm
I just
look,
pull out some stuff.
I already said I'm already waiting on the smoke. If I see any of them anywhere, I'm already waiting on it. I'm gonna give it right back. Like I
I'm
said what
Kelly. I'm
I
Kelly. I'm
said.
Kelly. The way Portia, you thought what you thought because you big dog that you supposed to try and sign me just a little bit. Now, see, this is where I'm not Kelly. I'm not gonna tell you that I said something a certain way when I really said it this way, especially when it's caught on camera. Yeah, I
Right.
asked that question. Yeah, I said that. Yeah. So what
Yes.
are we supposed to do now?
Why did you sleep with that woman's husband? What you talking
Yeah.
about?
But I love when Kelly said, "I'm just giving you what you came for." I said, "I know that's motherfucking right, girl. I know that's
Okay.
right. I'm giving you
Okay.
what you came for."
I am here for it. Now, with all that, with your YouTube channel
Mhm.
growing and with the Ooh Ladies First panel still thriving, we see you are married and you have a kid. Even though we already knew you already had one, but you got
Mhm.
one with your husband now, who I
Yeah.
love. I love
Oh, thank you. I
him.
love him too.
I love him. I remember when I first met him at your baby shower, he was so cool. I
Yeah,
didn't know
he's
what I
sweet.
was going in expecting, but
Mhm.
he was so cool with me. Like he already knew who the fuck I was before I could say, "Oh, I'm Scotty." I already knew my damn name. Like
Yeah,
he
I pull it
already
up on
knew.
the TV, I'm telling you, just put Scotty on. Just telling
Like he
you.
already knew who I was. And then I'll be watching his videos and like he's good for like hip hop commentary and stuff like that. And I
Mhm.
shouted him out in a couple of times and I said, look, y'all need to go watch Jay Nolan. Um how is
Thank you,
married
thank you.
life? Y'all are inspiration, honey, because y'all just everything.
Married life is good, and this may sound I don't know how it's gonna sound, but I'm just gonna be honest. Listen, to me, it don't really feel much different.
Mm-hmm.
We met in 2019, we got engaged in 2022, got married in 2024. I don't really feel a difference, and we didn't start living with each other until late 2022. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that was shortly after we ended up getting engaged. That's when we ended up living with each other, and it's just it's normal. Like I don't know. I would have conversations with some of my friends that were married, and they're like, "Oh, when you get married, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be like things are gonna change." And I'm like, "What the hell is y'all? What is?" I don't. That's not. I haven't experienced that. Like we still like. What is the big wow? Like what's supposed to come with it? Because that part, if that's supposed to happen, that hasn't happened. It seems normal. It seems the same. The love, the care is still there. Like we that's it. I don't know how big. I would love to know from other people, like what is the change that people say was going to happen once you got married? Like what's the do the expectations, like are they putting different expectations on it or something? Or what's what?
Maybe that's what it is. I mean, I don't know because I ain't never been married before, never been close to getting married to nobody, so I don't fucking know.
I
But
feel like it's supposed to be exactly how I feel.
yeah,
I feel like it's supposed to be like a smooth transition. We officially married now, and we're good. We just continue to go along. Make sure that we always staying in communication, knowing how to have the right conversations with each other and stuff. Like what else is we was doing that before? So I'm like, what is the big? Maybe I'll find out later. I'm still a newlywed
well,
child.
well, someone in the comments was like, "Marriage is what you make it so good for you," and I think that's probably
Yes.
what this
Thank
is.
you,
It's just,
Jamie.
it's just what you make it, you
Yeah.
know. Because sometimes people be like, "Well, when you get in a relationship, things gonna change." Not necessarily, you know. Some things might like I might not be able to spend as much time with certain people as I once did because I'm in a relationship, but it's just
Oh, that's interesting. Well, maybe. Oh, you know what that made me think? Let me not. I'm just gonna say you're right. When I reflect back on who said, I'm like, oh, maybe they don't because you're trying to be up under him a little too damn much, and you got me fucked up. If you think I'm not gonna sit up here and have my life, the hell you talking about? You up under him to it like you trying? Mm. No,
well.
they
This is
centering
one of
him.
the
Ah.
this is this is one of the things that
Mhm.
when I did one-on-one with Aaron last week
Yeah.
and I did it with Mims the week before that. This is one of the topics that we talked about on one-on-one. and we were
Mhm.
talking about like YouTube friendships and how people think that they don't exist. And being that
Mm.
you and I are friends in real life,
Mhm.
um, what would you say to people who really don't think that some of us are friends for real?
I've kind of got into this place where I'm like, whatever you think, you're right. Whatever you think, it's like I'm not going to beat you down sometimes, when it comes to my personal,
Mhm.
who I'm cool with or how situation, whatever you think, you right.
Right.
Because and they don't have it all. And here's the thing too. I kind of understand why they may feel that way because we all are so spread out. Their definition or how they see friendship may be different. They may think like, yo, you can't really be friends with a person that you're not hanging out with all the time. Like they got to see you together sometimes to really
Mhm.
believe that is true. In addition, you got to look at the history of YouTubers in this sector, right? Coming up, when I watched, it was a lot of beef. And it seems now when I look back at it that it was strategic, like in order to grow your channel, get
You
on
had to
your
beef with
on your
somebody.
thing and get the hooping, hollering, cussing, yelling, spilling somebody tea, doing the extra da 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 da. And I just feel like they have to adopt a new change. And here's the thing, even if they are friends, associates, whatever, and they distant, they may, step back, not be as cool anymore. They ain't got to drag them folks. They could just like, I don't talk to them. You know,
Exactly.
I wish them well. It ain't nothing like that. I don't got no issue. I ain't got no issue. Depends on the situation. But yeah, I mean, if that's what they think, then you're right. Especially if you don't want to consider the possibilities and think beyond that. Like, oh, okay, they could be friends. You know what I'm saying? Some people may be like, you didn't repost their stuff, you didn't share their stuff on your page. I didn't see you say anything of this person. They never shout you out, and is that really your friend? And it's like we also have other things going outside of that too. So
I mean, right. But like that's
we
the
don't
reason
be
why we
tweaking
relate
all the time
today.
either.
Like
You
that's the
know?
reason why we relate today. We were talking about personal
Hmm.
stuff back here. That's why we relate in the first place.
Right. Right.
Like here's the thing, and I have just gotten to the point. Well, at least I'm getting to this point now where it's like I really don't have to. I really don't owe nobody no explanations. Like, why am I explaining anything to y'all? Like, why do I have to keep on trying to convince y'all of anything? Like, I know what it is. Why am I explaining anything to y'all? You know what I'm
And
saying?
don't and don't spend and I feel like in my videos, when I'm doing housewives content, I always refer back to the people that's in my comments, and I definitely got to work on not addressing some of them hoes that I be needing to, and want to address. Because from a viewer perspective, I know they be like, "All right, Jamie, Zim, how many times you gonna talk about the comments?"
Because I know I've
So,
gotten it. I
oh,
know I've
and I'm
gotten
finna tell you. So when I used to watch your videos, you used to always complain about your people, what people said about your teeth
it.
and
Mm-hmm.
what people said about you on Lipstick Alley. And I used to be like, I remember being on the phone with one of my homegirls one time, and I was like, if Scotty would just stop talking about his teeth and just do his thing, because clearly these people still coming back and watching. I was like, I wish I was able to like talk to him. Da, 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 da. And let me tell you the gag of that is the fact that BIT, you ain't even got your own shit. And you trying to pour into somebody, hey Shamina, hey, how are you? Okay. Cause you over here trying to pour into somebody else and you ain't getting your own shit. Cause I was like, I wish I was able to talk to Scotty and Tim, like, just do your goddamn thing, da, 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 F these people, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so now you're at that place and now you're doing it. But let these folks, they're gonna do what they want to do anyway, because they just how they is.
Yeah, they're gonna say, like, I
But
think
sometimes it depends on your mood too. Because
that is
I've got a
true.
comment where I'm like, "Oh, BIT, we could get it today." Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like it just depends on the mood. You may be in an emotional mood, right? And then it may be somebody that says that one thing that like irks you. I don't know what this person said, but I know it was something that I was already thinking about myself, like about how I do my content.
Mhm.
And the person kind of mentioned it in the video. I mean, in the comments, and it definitely triggered me, and it definitely had me in my feelings. And I had to check myself, like, well, don't be too offended by what they're saying. Don't block them. Don't do none of that, because this was something you were already thinking about when it came to your content anyway. I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't know if it was like how I talk or like my vocabulary or something. Cause you know how when you hear some creators, they use these big words and stuff like that. And I think
Mhm.
sometimes using big words make you feel like you're that much more knowledgeable when you just may not be. And some people just may use a proper voice sounding like they're more smart than what they are. And I think that's what it was for me. Like, oh, I probably need to read more books. Or I need to get more in tune with this. Da, 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 da. And then when somebody kind of said something in that way, I was like, oh, is you cool? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she getting a trigger me just like that. And then she said something like, I'll come back. I think she said, I'll come back when I think she said, I'll come back when your vocabulary expand or something like that. I'm like, bitch, you don't gotta come back, Cole. You do not have to come back. But that
That is,
definitely made me feel away. But then I was like, girl, you
yeah,
was
see, that's
already kind of
true.
thinking some of that, like whatever.
That is true because like I think a lot of it and I ain't trying to make no excuses for nothing, but I think a lot of it had to do like when a person like myself, because I used to get bullied in school. So I think a
Mhm.
lot of that has people don't know that when you get bullied in school and shit, sometimes that kind of affects the way you move in your adulthood sometimes. And like sometimes it makes you a little bit more sensitive to things sometimes. And
Yeah.
like you're used to getting like dumped on so much. And then when you
Mhm.
see other people dump like saying little shit, then it makes you feel like
Yes.
you're being dumped on. But now I'm getting off of that. It's been a slow process, but I'm
Mhm.
slowly getting up out of it because it's like I used to be so annoyed and so pissed about things that folks on Lipstick Alley would say about me. Like I sit back there and I read that shit and I just be all in my feelings. Sometimes that shit will fuck up my whole day. Because
Yeah.
sometimes they'll be so fucking brutal and stuff like that. Cause a lot of it would not be true at all. But then like now, it's like, okay,
Have
whatever.
you checked it out recently since you like where you are today? Have you checked it out?
I haven't checked. It's been a while since I looked. Like it
Okay.
ain't I ain't gonna say like it's been over a year or nothing, but it's been some months. I kind of slowly but surely migrated away from it and not looked at it. So
Good.
sometimes because sometimes I just look because I want to know what people are saying and what they want to see from me. That was one of the main reasons why I would go over and look and see what they would say. But
Gotcha.
then I got way more than what I could bargain for because I was
Mhm.
looking at other shit they was fucking saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like I'm like, yeah,
The
oh, that's
day
strong.
that we can just not be bothered by what people are
Yeah.
saying and just do the work, head down, just continue to do the work,
Mhm.
the better. I do, you know, like when you go into your app for YouTube, I hate when I'm scrolling and at the bottom it shows you those few comments at the bottom,
Mhm.
the first thing, and I wish, cause I wish I could like, I wish it was a widget where I could remove and only show what I want to see on there versus seeing like the comments, you know,
Mhm.
cause it'll be that one. I'm not even trying to look at it, and then it'll pop. What the heck? So now I got to get down in the trenches with you. I I need to work on that. I need
Yeah,
to work on it. I
yeah,
don't even
like
want to see
it's
them.
still one of those days where I'm kind of working on it. Like,
But
like I'm not trying to let it like now. I ain't gonna lie now. I have been caught on certain days where I already wasn't feeling it already, and you want to come up here and come to me with the bullshit. So now I'm gonna come to you with the bullshit. Then
right.
after I do it, I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that? I just did exactly what I said I wasn't gonna do. No.
What don't do right. It be like that sometimes though.
Yeah, like that shit used to like it used to bother me, but now it's like, okay, I gotten to the point to where this is the way I look at it. I sit here, I do commentary on people all fucking day, and I give my opinions on people, whether it's positive or negative. So why in the fuck am I getting upset because of people, whether they're in the message board or whether they're in the comment section? They doing the same thing I'm doing. It's just that I can't see their face when they doing it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So they're
facts.
critiquing me like I'm critiquing somebody else. So I should be able to take it. So that's the way I look
Yes
at it.
and no. I think that a lot of people, you know, and I think we say it at times as well that it comes with the territory and stuff. But I feel like in our sector, what comes with the territory, if we talking about these celebs, they know who the we is though when we talking.
That's
So
true.
they can come to us and say what they need to say. A lot of people behind profiles, we don't even know you. A lot of y'all got worse insecurities than what some of us may got, you know, and not y'all, but them. So it's like you sign up, but then you kind of don't. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like people, I feel like they just use those profiles to just be even more disrespectful than what they are and get off their shit. Like,
Yeah, sometimes they go too far.
yeah.
Like I never forget. Now I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
It was one comment that bothered my soul, girl. This was probably about 3 years ago.
mm-hmm.
This was it was probably the Love and Marriage Huntsville review. When this lady came up under my review and said that I was Kevin Samuels Jr., that offended me
What?
so bad. Yes, that offended me so bad. I'm
How the
like,
hell she get that out of that? What's up, ma'ams?
I'm like, what? Hey, Mills, and thank you for the super chat. I'm like, what the fuck? That bothered me so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that bothered me so bad. And
That is, I'm trying to like, what?
I'm like, what did I say?
Let me say this too. And you saw my tweet because I've been saying
Yeah.
it a few times this week. When
Mhm.
people don't hear what you say in the video, they hear what they want to hear. Then
Mhm.
what you and I hate that. And sometimes I have to realize when I read some comments, sometimes I don't do this all the time, y'all. I'm still working. But when I read the comments and they just say some shit, I be like, oh, they ain't even talking to me. I have to remind myself, like, oh, because sometimes what happens is they'll be reading a lot of the comments and they'll
Mhm.
just start typing, but they're not really talking to you. They're
Yeah.
talking to the audience or whatever, to the other commenters. So instead of getting under that commenter's replies and getting in it, they'll just put a whole different message up. So sometimes I'd be like, well, who you talking about? You know,
Yeah, they be like, "Oh, I was
um,
talking about you." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I'm just trying to be clear before I snap, but
That's happened to me a couple of times.
I just didn't know who I need to direct this at. Okay, because I don't want to be like Miss Squad. Okay, I want to be direct.
Yes.
But yeah.
Those are the main things though. Like I'm starting not to allow that to hinder me no more. Because nobody want to watch no video and listen to me, go on and on and on about some fucking comments. Like, don't nobody want to hear that. Like, I've heard people say that time and time again. We don't want to hear that. Like, we want to hear you fuck them. We want to hear you talk about what we
Right.
came here to talk about.
F
Yeah.
them people.
So, okay, so because I know because these supposed to only be an hour. So with your YouTube channel and you're about to hit 100K soon, how does that make you feel coming from when you think about where you started and how you started? How does that
Mm.
feel with you being so close to 100K and you like pretty much going to be pretty much considered one of the big ones, like the bigger, like the big YouTubers? Like,
Okay, so one, it makes me feel pretty good. It makes me feel proud of myself. I am the type of person where when I say I want to do something or I want something, I am gonna keep going until I hit that. There are certain things. Well, there's really that one acting thing that I haven't really hit hard like I wanted to, even though, I do have those 2 movies or whatnot, but I want to be able to do more. And we can have an offline conversation when I think about like the YouTube and then want to do
mhm.
that. But all in all, I honestly don't really be seeing myself as a big one.
I don't either.
I feel like I'm still grinding it out like everybody else tried. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's gonna be great to be able to get my plaque, and whenever that happens, I don't know when it's gonna happen. It may happen this year, it may happen top of next year. I don't know. You just never know. But if and when it does, I think I might do me like a little piece of dinner and so I'm gonna have to have you come out and like we just try,
Yes, I'm here for it.
um, but I mean, it does feel good to see where you started, because when you're at that 3,000, 5,000, you'll see somebody that has 25. You be like, man, I love to have that 25,000. When you
Mhm.
get it, you growing, you see somebody else that hit 100K. What I'm like, damn, I would love to be where they at. Sometimes it ain't even 100K. Sometimes it's just the 50, it's the 60. I would just be glad to get there. And when you get there, you still feel like you kind of, I'm still grinding like the other folks. They got 20 some thousand, 30 some thousand.
That's how I feel too, because like it be like other YouTubers, like YouTubers that's on the come up, and then like if I reach out to them to try to do some work with them, something like that, they be like, "Oh my god, watched you for years. You're such a big YouTuber. Like, girl, no, the fuck I'm not. No, the fuck I'm not. But then I have to realize that, that's how people probably see us. Because I remember
Yeah.
when, have you ever heard of this YouTuber? I think his real name is Pierre, but he goes by Evaneer Entertainment. He talks about a lot of like the zoos
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he's like a little brother to me now. We talk all the time.
Mhm.
But I mean, when I first worked with him, he was so excited to work with me. And I'm like, why are you so excited? He was like, because I've been watching you forever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I didn't know
Aw.
you were watching. Like, it's a good feeling sometimes when people be coming to us and be like, they've been watching us forever. And then when you reach out to them to work with them, they be so happy. And I'd be like, I
Yeah.
am nobody. You do not have to do all that.
Yeah, I feel you. I'd be a little surprised too. I've had a few run-ins. The recent one, well, not so much as with YouTubers, but when I came for your celebration,
Hmm.
Dominique, I believe it is.
Yep,
When
Dominique.
he walked in, he was like, "I love you," and I'm like, "You, you know me?" I was like really surprised. I'm like, I'm watching you on TV. Like, okay. So, yeah, it's rewarding. What you mentioned some upcoming YouTubers, like what's like who's one that you really like
Okay, so I love On the Rocks with Jada. She is
on the
so
Ross with
funny
Jada?
to me.
Okay.
I like Bunny Scotch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
like her. I had never heard of her until not Jamie, Jeremy had brought her on the chasing panel last summer.
Bonnie
And
Scotch.
yeah, Bunny
Yeah,
Scotch.
yeah.
Yeah. I had seen her pop up, but I had never just looked at her videos yet. Because sometimes people just pop up randomly, and then sometimes if it's something that piqued my interest, I look at it and I'm like, okay, I'll work with them. She's another one. Um, I won't say that this person is like up and coming, but I'll just say I just feel like she's still one of the newer ones out here. That's Tammy Talks. I like her.
Okay. Yeah, I like Tammy too.
Although I never agree with her, but I love her so
What? You
much.
don't agree with Tammy?
I don't
Oh
be
my
agreeing with Tammy on a lot of stuff.
You know, I mean, I've watched. It's not a lot of stuff. Some stuff I think I agree with her on more things than I don't.
Yeah.
But I see when my subbies like how they feel, like when they watch and they be like, I don't like that, but I still like the video. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
Yeah.
I like Tammy. Yeah.
Who else can I think of off the top of the dome that I really, really like? Because it's a couple of people. It's this guy. He's like a LGBT YouTuber. His name is Dynel Daquel. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I think he
Okay.
started popping up on my homepage, and I just so happened to click on his videos. And he talks about a lot of like LGBT issues with gay
Mm,
men and stuff like that. And I promise
okay.
you, that boy be on it because I be like, ooh,
Okay.
I agree with all this shit right there. Ooh. So I like him. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. But I always be looking and watching and shit like that. And then sometimes I'll
Mhm.
pop in people's chats and stuff, and then they get excited. I'm like, you know me?
Yeah.
You
There's
know me?
there's one YouTuber that I really like her. I really like her. I said I'm a probably do some work with her. Like we'll probably like do like a video or something like that.
Hmm.
I haven't reached out to her yet, but I feel like when I tell you who it is, I feel like you're not gonna be surprised, really.
Hmm.
But it's the Bell perspective.
Ah!
Because
I'm not
when I tell you, it's
surprised.
like similar personalities, bro. When I've listened to a few of her videos, when I tell you I'm hollering, because I'm like, girl, if that ain't some shit that I would say, and I'm not gonna lie, Bill, I be over there looking like, bitch, you was tuned in, girl. You was over there watching the review, weren't you? You was over there watching my review, okay? So you sounded a little piece like Jamie, and just a little
you
bit,
you
okay?
know I work with her.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think.
really, I like her. I like her. I was like, I'm not gonna let her know yet though. I'm like, I see you, I like you. I'm like, okay, I'm
I'm
gonna hit you up at some point, but hold what you got, hold what you got. And then she ended up following me on Instagram. I was like, mama, okay, okay, let me follow you back so I see you, girl. I see you. But yeah, I like her. I like her for sure. That's for
Yes, I
sure.
love her. But you know, a person that we brought him up earlier, a person that me and you have in common, that
Mhm.
is Josiah. I
Yes.
am so
Ye
happy for my friend.
absolutely.
I'm so glad that he is back on here. And like he told me, he said he taking this month out, like starting out very slow, but surely
Mhm.
like putting out stuff every week, but then he gonna get like deep into it.
I
And
love
I
that.
remember me and you talked one time, and I had told him, I said, Jamie is really rooting for you though, because like
Yeah.
you do be rooting for him a lot because we want to see, we know that he got it. He just gotta tap into that thing. Like
Yes.
he got it. You know what I'm saying? He just gotta tap into it.
They
But I'm gonna
gotta do it.
tell you this, me and him, we're doing like a podcast together.
Okay.
It's gonna be called Bestie Chat or whatever.
Come
So
on, Bestie Chat.
so we're doing that together. And he want to do it in person. So he was looking for like different like
I
podcast
love
spaces here
it.
in Atlanta. So we're gonna do it together in
I
person.
love that. How often? Is it like how often are y'all planning on doing it? Because I
Okay.
know he's in Texas and stuff.
Yeah. So we kind of just started talking about it because here's the thing. Like the idea came up in my head because like when we had added busy to the whether you like it or not panel, and we were all saying we all need to do work together outside
Mhm.
of the panel, like like y'all could do stuff without me or whatever.
Mhm.
So I had this idea and I said, Josiah getting back on YouTube, how about we do a podcast? But I would let Josiah be the one to post it on his platform, and I don't have to post it on mine. He can post it
Okay.
on his.
Okay. I
And
like
so
that.
I brought the idea to him, and then we started coming up with different ideas and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
we was gonna talk about like friendships and just love and relationships and stuff from a gay
I
man's point of
like
view and stuff like
that.
that. And so
Real
he was like,
personal.
he was like, okay, because at first I'm thinking that we're just gonna do it virtually because I'm in Atlanta, he in Houston. But then
Mhm.
he had the idea of let's do it in person. I
I like
said, "Okay." He said, "'Cause I know there's podcast studios somewhere in Atlanta
Mhm.
and maybe
Yeah.
some in Houston." And so I was like, "Okay." So he started looking up different podcast studios and stuff. He sent them to me just, I think that was Monday he sent them to me. And I was
Mhm.
like, "I like this one. I don't like that one. I like this one. I like that." And he was like, "Okay." And then we're looking at the budget and the prices and stuff like that. And we said we was gonna like film, we're gonna use all the time. We're gonna
Mhm.
film multiple episodes
Love
and
that.
go. So that's what we finna do
I
next.
love that. I'm
Yeah.
here for it. I love that.
Yeah, it's
That
gonna
is
be
so good. I think that is going to continue to give Josiah the boost and support that he needs to stay, you know, remain active and stuff, you know.
yeah, because
I love that.
before I came to know Josiah, I was watching his platform before I came to know him,
Mhm.
and I saw the work that he was doing, and
Mhm.
I'm like, "I want him to do a panel with me."
Mhm.
Just like I saw the work you was doing, and I'm like, "I want her on the panel with me." Like,
Yeah.
I be watching people be saying I do a good job of putting panels together for whatever reason, so I don't know what it is, I just be seeing stuff in people, I'm like, and then it works. So but it also doesn't help that me and Josiah are pretty much best friends at this point now because
Mhm.
I'm about to go to Houston and go see him in about 2 weeks now. So
'Cause isn't his birthday around that
his
time?
birthday coming
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going up there for his birthday. So all that. So yeah, we about to do that. So just like you said, that'll give him that boost to stay on YouTube as what he needs to. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
like that.
everybody be rooting for him. Little do he know, everybody roots for him. So, you know, I just had to
Yeah.
throw that out there. I'm excited about it though.
You
I'm
should
excited.
be. You
I'm ex-
should be. I'm excited for y'all.
yeah, I want you to give me your opinions and stuff when you
I
see
sure
it,
will.
honey.
I sure will. Period. I got
But let me tell you something else. Aaron brought this up last week when we was doing this.
what he
He
say?
said, "Me and you and him, we
Uh-huh.
should go to Kelly's thing, her chicken and waffles restaurant, and come back and do a review like we did for the Lanithia."
Ooh, let me tell you something. Y'all was not gonna get me to go to McDonald's. Okay. So let me tell you. Sandy Springs, baby. So when she put that grand opening, I said, first of all, Kelly, okay, we gonna need a specialty booth first of all, and a piece of a
Okay.
specialty drink. Thank you. But I'm not coming to do McDonough. McDonough is over an hour. I'm
Listen,
in North Georgia.
listen, I didn't even know that it was far from me like that because it's on the south side, like I'm on the south side. Then
Which
I
is
looked up,
crazy.
it's 40 minutes away from
Mm-mm.
me.
Add that traffic. Add that traffic. Add that yeah, yeah. Add that traffic onto that. Appreciate it. Yeah. Cause no, I'm not finna come down.
And
She
you
gonna
know,
have to give me gas money.
Sakita stay out there.
She do. She do. She do.
I was like, that's why when she said, now you know I'm gonna be late. You know I'm like 40 minutes away. I'm like, how the fuck is you 40 minutes away? You in the south side too. What the fuck?
Guess me. I'm like, girl, you could give me the Jonesboro just a little piece, but beyond that, you got me. I'm not going down there, girl. I'm not going down there. Hell no.
You don't even come out my way. You don't even come out here.
You say what?
I said you would even come out this way where I'm at. Like
Yeah, I will come out there
this
because I
way.
feel like where you at is. I feel like that's well, maybe it may be the same distance, but I feel like you're closer than Jonesboro.
Yes, I think I am closer to
Because I'm not finna go back, girl.
Cause
You
we like
turn.
because we like 10 minutes away from the airport, really. So it's just like we were like down the street from the airport. So
I need that restaurant to be open because she was having some issues. I need that to be open before the season is done, for sure.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
get that open for the people.
Look at JB. He's talking about something traffic alone because he was here.
Oh yes, you was. Yeah. You know about that traffic, okay?
Somebody said
Hell
the
no.
farthest I go is College Park. Past that, no man.
Not College Park. I'm screaming. Yeah.
But you know, Carl and Tramiel, they stay in Sandy. Is it Sandy Springs or Dunwood? It's one of them. They stay up that way. So y'all
That's
up
my
there.
way. I'm with that area too. Like,
Y'all up there.
yeah.
we down here, y'all up there.
Okay.
Cause Jamal was like, hell, Tramiel, when I stayed in Vinings, Tramiel stayed in Decatur. Now I come out here. Now we come out here and he up there. And then Ramon, he in the middle. He right in
He is in the middle.
Yeah, he in the middle. So it's just like, but when I saw the distance to that, I'm like, I said, how's it that far? And it's in the south side like me. Like, what the fuck how does that make sense? What the fuck?
I'm gonna need that grand opening date. I'm gonna need that grand opening date for Sandy Spring. When I tell you it's gonna be a minute.
Because you say you are not going to McDonald's.
I'm not going to McDonald's. Absolutely not. That's
crazy.
Just
like when we went to the Lenithia, Duluth was so fucking far.
Yeah, I mean, it was a piece of far. It was a piece.
And I was coming from Vinings at that time, because that's when Jamar lived in Vinings then, and it was still far.
Yeah, was it that far? Oh, you know what? I don't know. I feel like I don't think it was that bad for me. Now that I think about it.
Maybe it felt like that because it was kind of like it was traffic and shit, and then the person that was driving me, like he didn't know where he was going.
Potentially, I could see that. I could see that.
Someone said I used to live in Palmetto, and we didn't go to Atlanta, but on Sundays for church and maybe on birthdays, I was in Fairburn, Noonan, and Peachtree City. That's it. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Somebody I know, they live around the block, and then they go to Fairburn to do all their shopping, but they don't do no shopping here. They go Fairburn.
I go to Fairburn. Why Fairburn?
I don't know, honey. I can't tell you. I don't know, but I did say this though. I was just like, what?
Not close to insight into Jamie's life, and this what you decide to talk about.
What the fuck? What is you mad about? We did get an insight into her life. I'm not gonna go all the way deep in her damn life.
What you trying to know? Clock in? What you trying to clock in about? What part you want to know? Somebody did tell me last year around this time, it was like, Jamie, you don't open up anymore. Ever since you hit 70,000 subscribers, you don't open up anymore. I'm like, how was I opening up the first time? What did I mean? I told y'all I was pregnant. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm confused. What part? I don't know.
Oh, they say they just walked in. Girl, well, you missed all the stuff we talked about
No, you
personally.
didn't.
We at the
Yeah.
end. We just talking now. Like we at the end now. What you talking about? We talked about her past. We talked about her moving to Atlanta. We talked about how
Yeah.
she got into YouTube. Like we didn't talk about all this. So baby, you're gonna have to do you have to go and do a replay. See, this is why you can't just walk into to places and thinking you got your degree and you know every fucking thing. You can't do that. You got you at least gotta sit back and wait or go back and watch it. They said
Okay.
the stuff right just because did we not talk about your life? Like, girl, what?
We did. We talked about a little piece. Yeah, we
Right.
did.
But I don't know. I'm gonna tell you though, being here though, I be
Mhm.
so confused by some things though, because they be like, because when you think about what's the girl name? Amoretta the Great, when she had that song, Sorry Not Sorry, she was saying all these places ain't Atlanta and stuff.
Oh,
And
yes,
then I be
yes.
thinking about shit and I be like, is this Atlanta? But I got an Atlanta address, so it is Atlanta.
You are Atlanta. You Atlanta.
Yeah, I got an Atlanta address, so I am in Atlanta. You know what I
You
mean?
know, I think it's just universal because I mean, people may not know where certain areas are, but they know where Atlanta is. So sometimes, just say I'm from Atlanta. It's Atlanta. Great.
Yeah,
Sometimes I just be like Greater Atlanta,
because sometimes
Greater.
when you say you in Atlanta, people just ask what part, and then when you say and they say what part, they be like, "Is it College Park?" Even though they be saying College Park ain't Atlanta, but it kind of is at the same time.
Right.
Like
All this Atlanta. Damn it.
yeah, because like when I look at my say for instance, I look at the forecast and it says Atlanta when I'm at home, but when I'm at work it says Union City.
Mm, I
It'd be
got
like,
you.
what the fuck? It's the same thing, but I always feel like because even with Jamar, he lived in Viners, but the address was an Atlanta address.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
And then
so
Vinings, I feel is like on that teeters the line of saying like Smyrna or Atlanta.
yeah, because sometimes if you're in Vining, sometimes like say for instance you're on Snapchat and you try to do like one of those little things, what they call it.
The location thing?
Yeah, the location thing, it would say Smyrna sometimes because I
Mm,
remember it would say that like when we'll be on Snapchat and then it'll say Smyrna on there. And I'm like, we're
yeah.
not in Smyrna, is it? He like, no, we in Viners. I'm like, well, I say it say Smyrna. But it's Atlanta's confusing. I'm still getting used to it though. I'm still getting used to it.
It's cool. You're gonna
But
get
I
it
but I do
soon.
want to tell you this though.
What's up?
I do want to tell you thank you though, because you are one of the people that convinced me to come out here because I never forget it. I think the first time you told me to come out here was when we first went to brunch that day at Ramon's house because Ramon was like, "Well, I've been trying to get him to come out here forever."
Yeah.
And then it's like okay, and then Jamar had just got here, so every time I would come here, you would say, "Okay, so when you moving?" Because you hear all the time, like, "When did you moving?" And
Yeah.
I'm
You was
like,
afraid to make that leap, but I know that you're glad that you did. So
"What,
I'm
girl?"
yeah. Took some time, you know, but
Yes,
you here
okay.
now. So
I am
yeah.
so happy to be here, but we gotta we got to get together soon, though. I know
Yeah.
I'm trying to find, me and Jamar. Uh, I had said we need to have a friend date. We had one in a long time.
That would be nice.
Because the last time we had like a friend date, we went to Blaze, and
Y'all should go to Chattahoochee Works.
where is that?
That is kind of on the edge of Atlanta. I feel like it's near Vinings, like near Smyrna Vinings area, kind of not far from Top Golf. Have you ever been to Top Golf?
I
It's
have
around
not
the corner from
gone
Howell
yet.
Mill. You know where Howell Mill is, right? Howell Mill Road. Okay.
You know I don't know yet.
Jamar know where it's at.
Yeah, he
Jamar
should
has to
know.
know. He know what at least know what Top Golf at for sure.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's just one of those like food hall type places where you got like all these
Okay.
different options and stuff. And they put more stuff out there too, So
Hmm.
it's kind of dope.
Okay, because
But
we.
where I'm gonna take you to is something different. I don't think you've been to
Okay.
that one before.
Okay, I'm ready for it, girl, because I can't
Yeah.
wait. I can't wait. So with that being said, the one with me and Aaron was over an hour. The one with me and you was over an hour. The one with me and Mills was over an hour. That's because we're friends for real. That's why.
It be like that. When it's a conversation, we just having a conversation. It be like that.
Right. But
Mhm.
thank you for doing this.
Of course. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
having
doing
me.
this. Of course.
I love
I'm
it.
pretty sure we're gonna work together on something else soon.
Basketball wise, when it
You
comes, because we were
watching?
supposed to do it last year, and all it wasn't giving. So we may not do like a consistent, but I think we could pop in a few times and do some stuff, whether it's on my channel, your channel. I definitely think we should talk about the first episode. I don't know if I'm gonna review it, but I am interested because of Denise, who happens to be the baby mama to
Mm,
Lonzo Ball. So I want to kind of see what's going on with her. And then I do kind of want to see what's up with Ty and Ming. So
I do want to
I'm gonna
see that
check that out a little bit.
because I know that Ming was trying. They were testing her for this season of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know they were testing her,
Mm.
and I wonder why she didn't make it. But yeah, they were testing her.
Okay.
I have questions though, because why Jackie's Christy daughter on the season?
That's a good question.
Like, what the fuck?
Well, we already know when she get on the show, she's going to be an echo for Jackie. Jackie can get on. Jackie is a Dr. Heavenly for me of Basketball Wives.
Oh,
Sometimes I love Jackie, and sometimes Jackie gets on my damn nerves, and that is exactly how I feel about Dr. Heavenly.
yes. You know what? I never seen it that way until you said that.
Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. That's who she is for me. Her outfit got on my damn nerves. So now with her daughter, because I feel like, Jackie can just take some stuff. She could just do too much
She
sometimes.
can.
Take it, just be extra a little bit more. But I'm interested to see what that dynamic is and what Miss Chantel got going on. Not Shanice, did I call her Shanice? But I meant Chantel. I wonder what Chantel got going on though.
Brittany, why is she back?
Cause she stopped doing that OnlyFans and she need to get that money. Okay. She was trying to follow her lord or whatever, and it didn't work out. I guess the money didn't come fast enough. And let me say, I'm not even gonna follow them. Get your coin because you still gonna have to provide for that little boy, whether he with you or he with daddy.
That
So
is true.
and you gotta take care of yourself. So I knew Brittany was going to be back. I knew it.
Hmm.
So we'll see what role she gonna play. But their
Well,
images look a damn mess. And I'm like,
oh my
no,
god, they
did
look a
not have
mess.
to do that. They ain't have to do them like that.
They do look a mess for real. They look
The
horrible.
editing is terrible. But
It is. I don't know who told them to do that. I don't know who told them to do that, but that was a mess. Um, and Brandy, I'm probably one of the few people that like her. I don't want to hear nothing else about Jason this
I
season. I
don't
don't want
either.
to hear it. I don't want 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 to hear it. Unless you done file for divorce, I don't want to hear nothing.
Oh, Chantel had a baby by a baller.
Oh, that's why she's there.
Okay. But here's the other portion. Oh, I thought you said, okay, you said you want to see Evelyn daughter and Chantel get into it. Listen, if Evelyn brought her daughter onto that show, they definitely could potentially usher in a new set of them women for Basketball Wives. Bring Chantel, keep Brittany, bring Shanice, okay, keep Denise,
Mm-hmm.
and that may work.
But why Shawnee? Ugh. She probably
That
not even
may
gonna
work.
be there.
She not. She just gonna be there for a little piece, get her check, and go on dip out because she's the pastor's wife, and she can't be over here coming off her cherry out to throw tomatoes with you. Oh, it's okay.
But here's another thing too. Um, they wrong for doing Basketball Wives Orlando the way that they did. Cause I wanted to see that again.
They,
They was wrong for that.
I agree. They need to pick that back up.
They
I don't.
do.
I'm like, do y'all not have the money to fund them, or what was really going on? Like, they were so like it was so refreshing to watch them. What was it after Basketball Wives, LA? Like once they went
Hmm.
off, it was refreshing to watch these ladies and for y'all to just leave them hanging like that. I wanted to see the issue with the two girls that came on as best friends.
Morgan
Uh,
and
Morgan, yeah,
Danielle. Yeah.
yeah. Was it Danny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to see them too. Like, where are they now? I don't think they friends no more, but I would have liked to have seen it.
They didn't even have a reunion.
Like they did them so wrong.
But they trust to keep on forcing this Basketball Wives LA shit when they need to really revamp that cast because having these same people on here is beginning to be draining at this point.
Child, I'm Evelyn Lozada. I used to really like y'all can see me name about Evelyn at one point. I
You
used to
like
really like me, but I
that?
used to really like Evelyn. I'm talking about tuned into Living Lozada and everything.
Oh,
And no,
girl.
that's when she was trying to change her life a little piece, but came
Uh-huh.
right on back. It's crazy how people leave shows thinking they could do without, and then they turn right back around.
Right.
I'm
It's
glad Quad
crazy.
didn't get up out her seat to go do Sister Circle, because it seemed like she would have got up out her seat to just go do Sister Circle. But I'm glad she didn't do that, because she would have definitely been right on back with it being canceled and stuff. But yeah,
Exactly. I look, I think we all love Royce, Catherine. I love Royce.
absolutely.
I love Royce, but like they ain't gonna never let her back on that show for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They're not. But I wanted, and I normally don't want her nowhere, but wanted Laura Govan back this season.
Ooh, that would have been
After,
interesting.
after that interview she did with Carlos King, because I listened to the interview again yesterday at work.
Mm.
And she wanted that smoke with Evelyn. She really did. And she also wanted to have a sit down with Shawnee. And I think that's why they won't bring her back. Because they know that we want to see that and they don't want to give us that. Because Shawnee don't want to have that
But
conversation.
remember they were saying that she was filming. Remember?
Mhm.
They
Yeah, they
said
did
she
say
was
that.
filming, and now I'm thinking they took some stuff out. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they were filming, they took them out, added some other people in, because Denise just got announced to be a part of the show, like, at the last minute. So that's just real interesting.
Because that kind of, since you said that, that kind of happened on season 6 of Basketball Wives. Because remember, Brandy in Malaysia wasn't even supposed to come back at first. It was a whole nother cast. I think it was supposed to be in like Tammy, Shawnee, Evelyn, Bunny, Jill, Kiana Green, this the Kristen girl and her sisters and
Mhm.
somebody else. But then they didn't work out, so they brought Brandy and Malaysia back. And then later on in the season, they brought Jennifer back, and then who that other girl was, Sania, that was her name. She was supposed to be on
Mhm.
the cast too. They brought her in there, and that whole season was just disjointed. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck was going on with that, but that was just completely disjointed.
I wonder what Malaysia got going on. I understand her mother passed,
Hmm.
condolences to Malaysia on that. But I don't know. I feel like she's one of those people that's gonna return at some point.
You think so? Because I know, well,
Her
I don't.
baby daddy wasn't really paying the money he was supposed to pay, and
Hmm.
she might have other jobs or something like that, where she may have saved up or something. But I could see her returning, but I could see her returning in like a limited role, but
Hmm.
making sure they pay her enough to take care of her house for, take care of some expenses and stuff, for the year or to come.
Did you watch that show that she was supposed to be the anchor on that Carlos King had produced, the Bold and Bougie show?
I
Did you watch
tried
it?
to watch it.
You said you
I
tried.
watched, yeah, I watched a few episodes, but I don't think that it's a bad show. I don't know if that dynamic of a cast actually worked. So he might have to get some other people.
Moneyetta, because that's all they talked about.
My Yada ain't finna go over there. Now that they done said that, my Yada not finna go over. Well, she might. I don't know. I feel
I
like
could
my
see
Yada
her
not finna go
over
over there.
there because that's all they talked about. That's
They
all they talked
did.
about was Moneyetta
But
because
I do feel
Neo,
like my Yada, she not finna come art. I don't know. I don't
because
see
all
her.
they did was because when they brought in Neo's ex-wife, all they did was talk about Moneyetta. All they kept on saying, well, Monietta's my friend, and I don't know, blah 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 blah. And that's all they talked about. So I'm like, if y'all gonna talk about it, you might as well have her here. I don't know.
True.
You know, I like Manietta,
She
especially
might
based
be.
off of what I saw in person when we was at Candy Care.
Oh yeah.
She was
She's a
really sweet.
sweetheart.
I love Manietta.
She yeah, she's a sweetheart. I mean, everybody was really cool, down to earth.
Yeah,
Everybody.
even
She's nice.
it was. I Let me tell you this. When we was at Candy Cares, it was so funny seeing some of these people in person that you've seen on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. It
I'm like,
was.
oh, that's Kwame. Okay, that's
Why
Kwame.
is he the first person in my head that I'm thinking about? I'm like, but I was
Yeah,
trying to think of his name, but like he was the first one I was thinking about when you said it's so funny to see these people in person. Yeah.
yeah. And then when I saw
He looked more
Carmen
like
there,
Donnie McClurkin in
yeah.
person.
Then I saw Carmen. I'm like, oh, they're gonna Carmen. Okay, they're gonna Carmen.
Yeah, Carmen's gorgeous.
Yes, especially in person. Like she is, and she funny as fuck to me too in person. Then Mama Joyce, she came over there. She told me I
Sweetheart.
was handsome and stuff. I'm like, ah,
She was so sweet.
that's the funny thing about it. I had told my mama, I had called my mama, I said, girl, I saw Mama Joyce last night. She said, did she try to get funny with you? I
Not get funny with
said, no.
you.
I said,
Girl.
she said I was handsome. She said, oh, don't make me come down there.
Uh-uh. No,
my mama,
ma'am.
my mama is funny as fuck. Okay, like funny as hell. But you know,
Yeah.
but anyways, we've been on here for almost an hour, 30 minutes. Yeah, thank you guys for watching us.
Thank you, guys.
This was a really good. This is one of the ones I'm gonna be back watching again because I did it like because when it's really, really good to me, sometimes I
Uh-huh.
go back and I listen to it again, like I did with
Yeah.
Aaron and Mims. Like I
Yeah.
go back and listen to it again. But thank you, Jamie, for coming
Of
on.
course.
Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys on another time. Jamie did just say that we might do something for basketball wise, and I'm definitely here for that because we were the main ones that were still reviewing the show.
Yeah, we was, then I fell
everybody
off.
else, everybody else said fuck it. We ain't doing
Yeah.
it no more. But y'all will see us together soon. We'll be doing something soon, and I can't wait for us to hang out soon because she came up here for my birthday and it was really nice. We was lit for my birthday.
Yeah.
It was lit up.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all, we out of here until the next one. Bye, y'all.